is a very famous book, and this is a Bible of the feminist criticism, because all the authors, female authors or feminist critics that came, they all followed the ideas and ideologies of Simone de Beauvoir. So the second sex is a 1949 book in which the author discusses the treatment of women throughout the history. She published this work in 2 volumes. The first volume is entitled Facts and Myths, and the second volume is entitled Lived Experiences. So this point is very, very important, that it is published in 2 volumes. The first is entitled Facts and Myths. The second is Lived Experiences. This is one of the Beauvoir's best known book. It is often regarded as the major work of feminist philosophy and the starting point of the second wave feminism. So this is the work where she starts the book, and the first line of the book starts with a question that what is a woman? This is the initial beginning line of this book. What is woman? And she argues that man is considered the default. Like a system, there is a default system. So man is like a default system, while woman is considered as the other. And she gives a very famous quotation like, thus humanity is male, and man defines women not herself, but as a relative to him. A woman is existing in relation to man. Then Simone de Beauvoir describes the relationship of ovum and sperm in various creatures like fish, insects, mammals, and she says that they leads to the human being. And she describes women's subordination to the species in terms of reproduction. Like the fishes and the mammals, women is also a subordinate. Why? Because she is responsible for the production system of human beings. She is the one who produces the child. It is similar to the other animals, the other mammals. And because of this reproduction characteristics, they are subordinate to man. She compares the physiology of men and women, concluding that values cannot be based on physiology and that the facts of biology must be viewed in light of the ontological, economic, social, and psychological context. So in the first part, she also discusses about the male-dominated science, where she talks about why scientists are not working for transferring these characteristics of reproduction to man. Science has developed so much, why a man cannot produce a child? No, none of the scientists, because the science is a male-dominated science, and none of the scientists is working in this area, that a uterus can be transferred from a female to a male, or a uterus can be created inside the main body. So the authors whose views Simone de Beauvoir rejects include Sigmund Freud, Alfred Adler, and Friedrich Engels. These are the philosophers whose ideas were completely rejected by Simone de Beauvoir, because her main focus was the biology of women, not psychology of the women or physiology of the women. She said that the problem lies with the biology, the nature, the biology that the nature has given. There the subordination lies. So she argued that while Friedrich Engels, in his book The Origin of the Family, Private Property and the State, this was the title of the book by Friedrich Engels, who was the partner of Karl Marx. So he maintained that the great historical defeat of the female sex is the result of the invention of bronze and the emergence of private property. His claims are unsupported. So she completely revolted against the ideas of all these philosophers. According to Simon D. Weaver, two factors explain the evolution of women's condition. Number one is the participation in production. And the second one is freedom from reproduction slavery. This reproduction system is like a slavery from which a woman is not able to get the freedom because it is a biological nature. So she said that there are two factors which is making a woman subordinate. First factor is reproduction, and the second, she became a slave, and she cannot get a freedom from this slavery. So she writes that motherhood left women riveted to her body like an animal and made it possible for man to dominate her and dominate her and her nature. So she said that because of this reproduction, this giving birth to a child is like riveting the body of women. एक जगह पे उसको रिवेट करके छोड़ दिया because of the reproduction. So this motherhood left women riveted to her body. This is a very famous line of this book. She covers female menstruation cycle. She said that menstruation is also responsible for subordination of women. This is again a biological nature of women, where she says that when the menstruation cycle begins, a woman is regarded as a neglected and she is regarded as an animal in the house. She talks about the virginity and the female sexuality, including copulation, marriage, motherhood, and prostitution. To illustrate man's experience of the horror of feminine fertility, she quotes the British Medical Journal of 1878, in which a member of the British Medical Association writes this quotation, that it is an indisputable fact that meat goes bad when touched by menstruating women. Here, this quotation is written by one of the man of the British Medical Journal, where this meat is it's type of food, you can say. So that food goes bad when women who is passing through a menstruation cycle, if she touches that meat goes bad. So what is the fault of women? This is a biological subordination. It's a biological characteristic that is given to man. So her main focus was the biological body of women, which is responsible for oppression and depression. She quotes poetry from Andre Breton, Leopold Ségur, Michel Leiris, Paul Verlaine, Edgar Allan Poe, Paul Valery, Von Goethe, and William Shakespeare, along with other novelists, to explain this fact that women's body, a biological body, is responsible for their oppression. So she takes various examples from these poets. She writes that sexual division is maintained in homosexuality. The second volume, this was about the first volume. The second volume is entitled Lived Experiences, where she presents a child life's beginning with the birth, where she contrasts a girl upbringing with a boy's upbringing at the age of 3 or 4 years. When a boy is born, he is told as a little man. But what happened about a girl? A girl is taught to be a woman starting from the childhood. She is taught to follow the feminine rules. Feminine destiny is imposed upon her by the society. She has no innate maternal instinct. A girl comes to believe in and to worship a male god and to create imaginary adult lovers about different male relationships. The discovery of sex is a phenomena as painful as weaning, and she views it with disgust. When she discovers that man, not women, are the masters of the world, this imperiously modifies her consciousness of herself. So, starting from the childhood itself, a girl who faces that this world is headed by the men, not women. So, starting from the childhood, her consciousness goes down. So Simon D. Weaver writes that to ask two spouses bound by practical, social, and moral ties to satisfy each other sexually for their whole life is purely absurdity. अगर कोई कहता है कि दो husband wife, if they are bound by practical, social, and moral ties, and they are able to satisfy each other sexually for the whole life, it is totally an absurd statement. She describes that the work of married women, including house cleaning, writing that it is holding away death, but also refusing life. She also writes that a woman finds her dignity only in accepting her vassalage, which is bed. So the bed service and housework service is the only thing in which she gets the dignity. A woman is weaned away from her family and finds only disappointment on the day after her wedding. Now, her attack on wedding is again very important. That how wedding of a woman makes her life horrible. She points out various inequalities between a wife and a husband and finds they pass the time not in love but in conjugal love. They are not in love. They are just they're passing their time in the conjugal love. She thinks that marriage almost always destroys a woman. She quotes Sophia Tolstoy, who is another author, who wrote in her diary that you are stuck there forever, and there you must see. Means once you are got married, you are stuck there forever, and you have to sit there itself. She thinks that marriage is a perverted institution which oppresses both man and woman. She describes about pregnancy now, which is again a biological part of the women, and she said that pregnancy is one of the most responsible factor for the subordination of the women. So she said that it is viewed as both a gift as well as a curse to a woman. So in this new creation of a new life, when a woman gives birth to a child, actually she loses herself, seeing herself as no longer anything but a passive instrument. So according to Simon D. Weaver, while a woman knows how to be as active, effective, and silent as a man, her situation keeps her being useful, preparing food, clothes, and lodging. She worries because she does not do anything. She complains, she cries, and she may threaten suicide. She protests but does not escape her lot. She cannot escape because she is biologically subordinate. So Simon D. Weaver thinks it is pointless to try to decide whether a woman is superior or inferior, and that it is obvious that man's situation is infinitely preferable. So her argument that woman can never be superior to man because she is biologically subordinated. It is the nature of the gift that makes the women subordinate to man. So she writes that for women, there is no other way out than to work for her liberation. So this was the final quotation of this book, that each and every woman must fight for their liberation if they want to make their own identity. Otherwise, nature ने जो उनके साथ किया वो तो किया ही है. That cannot be changed. But if you want your existence, your identity, you must liberate. You must fight together.